When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we live.
Good night once more. Good night. Welcome back to the Make We Talk program right here on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Share this live. Share this live as much as you can. It's a very important topic tonight. Do incarcerated Jamaicans, persons, have the right to vote? In other words, does people in prison have the right to vote? That's the question for tonight. We're going to have a well-known attorney at law, a man of the style, a Jamaican who has given his life to helping other Jamaicans in the legal fraternity. We're going to have pretty soon Mr. Isat Buchanan, well-known attorney at law. He will be our special guest coming on pretty soon. He will come on and speak to us some more about the whole thing of prisoners have the right to vote. Apparently, there is something in our constitution that give them the right to vote, and successive administration have been overlooking it. Today is the 9th. Oh Lord, thank you. Why did I believe today was the 8th? My God, I thank you so much. I thought today was the 8th. Today's the 9th, and I've been writing the 8th and so many documents all morning. Oh Lord. So we're going to speak to Mr. Buchanan as soon as he comes on. Oh Lord, apparently there is something going on here now. Oh Jesus. Executive Director of the National Solid Waste Authority, Andrew Gordon, say fire is at the river. Jesus. Hold on a minute for me, please. Hold on a minute for me, please. Let me go into something here. This is Make We Talk breaking news. News just coming into a new center. Managing Executive Director of the National Solid Waste Managing Authority, Andrew Gordon, says that there is a fire at the Riverton dump in St. Andrew as we speak. Thus, the Riverton dump in St. Andrew is on fire. As soon as we get more news, we'll pass it on to you. This is Make We Talk Breaking News. That's news just coming into a news center that there is a severe fire at the Riverton dump in St. Andrew. As we speak, there is a massive fire at the Riverton dump in St. Andrew as we speak. Traffic on that road, that carriageway, they have to be very careful. What is going on here again? And oh Lord, and there's a house now. A house is on fire on Pembroke Boulevard in St. Andrew. Let me see if I can get something here. Mr. Buchanan, waiting on Mr. Buchanan to come on, but apparently we're having some breaking news in our studio here. And there's another news coming out of Jamaica also. Let me see if I can have it where a vehicle, so many cars met in an accident somewhere, I think on Washington Boulevard. Let me see something here. Hold on a minute there. Yes, I think it's right here. This is it. Wow, there you have it. Some accident along a roadway in Kingston. Well, in Portmore rather, a short while ago. Let me get into this now. Apparently, there's a fire along Perkins Boulevard in St. Andrew. Let me see if I can get it to you all here. We're still awaiting the arrival of Mr. Isat Buchanan, but in the meantime, we're having some news coming into our newsroom that there is a fire on Perkins Boulevard in St. Andrew, Jamaica. Let me see if I can get it here. Apparently, the Gleaner has it, and we're getting the feed from them now. Here we go. We do not know. Yes, there is a house on Perkins Boulevard in St. Andrew. And there was an accident where several injured in a passenger passage for drive rather in Portmore. Several injured in a motor vehicle accident and passage for drive in Portmore. The Riverton dump is on fire, and there is a house on Perkins Boulevard in St. Andrew on fire. There's some breaking news coming out of Jamaica tonight. We have some breaking news coming out of Jamaica tonight. We're still waiting on the arrival of Mr. Buchanan to come on to us. It is now 12 minutes after 7 o'clock in Jamaica, 12 after 8 o'clock right here on the Make We Talk program as we speak about the rights for people who are incarcerated to vote. But as you see, we have some news coming out of Jamaica where the Riverton dump in St. Andrew is on fire. there is a vehicle accident. The observer is reporting right now. Hold on for me, please. I'm live on air. I'll call you back. I'm live on air. Okay. Yes, as we can, Mr. Buchanan is on with us now. Welcome to the program, Sir Isaac.
Greetings to your listeners and your viewers.
Yes. You see that there's some breaking news coming out of Jamaica right now. Are you aware of it?
No, not aware of it, and I'm not smelling any smoke. So I hope they're okay, because I know the firemen will try to out that fire.
And there's right now you can see there's a house on fire in St. Andrew area.
Yes, I'm seeing it. It appears to be opposite as well.
Yes. There you have it. Some breaking news coming out of Jamaica. But let us go to our program this evening. He's no stranger to the Mequitalk program, no stranger to YouTube. He has a program on YouTube named Contents Matters with Isat Buchanan, one of Jamaica's well-renowned lawyer. I would say the poor people lawyer who stand up for the poor class of Jamaicans from all walks of life. Once again, sir, welcome to the program. And you're going to speak to us about incarcerated people, the rights to vote?
We can speak on it.
Yes.
In terms of, you have to tell me what aspect of it that you want. Are you saying should they vote? Do they have a right to vote?
Yeah, do they have a right to vote?
All right. So here's the thing. We have it's twofold. If you are registered to vote, the argument is you should have the right to vote. In other words, if you're on the voters list and you have that card and the card is valid, there should be a mechanism in place for you to exercise that right to vote, regardless of incarceration. What I can tell you, though, is, sir, in terms of the Representation of Persons Act, is that people who are under sentence serving of more than 6 months or under death penalty, we don't really have that in Jamaica anymore, because Jamaica not big and bad to put anybody on death penalty. Or you are convicted for electoral crimes. You know, the crimes that they love to commit during elections, stuff in ballot box, stuff like that. They actually ever get prosecuted for it, which they don't. We know how that works.
Yes.
And those persons would be not eligible to be registered to vote. So if you have been convicted of any offense connected with the election of members of parliament or members of any local authority, or naturally, this would exclude everybody. If you are illegally certified to be insane, proved to be of unsound mind, or is held as a criminal lunatic, that would pretty much account for all of the dirty 30 and the entire diaspora. But then, and those related to or is a part of that family tree. So we wouldn't have any voters if we went for that. But I mean, outside of that, so my position, and certainly there are other senior attorneys that take the position that if you are registered to vote, if you are eligible by virtue of being assisted, then you should be able to cast that ballot regardless of where you are.
So what you're saying, that if you are incarcerated, and before you were incarcerated, you had the right to vote and you have the voter's card, there should be something put in place for you to exercise your right to vote?
Yeah, that is the position, because it equally also buttresses the argument of the nonsense about the supposedly 5 million people in the diaspora who don't get the opportunity to vote. It goes without saying. So I know in other countries the right to vote you lose if you are convicted, but our constitution certainly doesn't have that embedded in the mechanism.
So what you're saying, attorney at law, counsel, is that under the Jamaican Constitution now, it is
Yeah.
not in it that you don't have the right to vote. It's in it that you should vote. Like you can
Yeah,
vote.
man, yes, you have that is a constitutional right that our forefathers ensured that we are have been given. That is one of the arguments for why our Charter of Rights is so revolutionary, why it is, I think it is the most prospective and important Bill of Rights, Charter of Rights in the modern era. Our constitution, our charter, let me stop saying the constitution, our Charter of Rights is so powerful. I am convinced that it was a mistake.
So hold on there now.
Mm.
If it is in there, so that means that the people who are incarcerated who has the right to vote, their constitutional right is being breached then.
I think that the argument could be made that your constitutional right is breached. Let's start there. What the response from the government is, because I am always fair, is that
Yes.
argument could be made that it is demonstrably justifiable in a free and democratic society to prevent you from voting because you possibly have committed a crime and a part of your sentence is to be excluded from the running of society. It would be an interesting legal challenge within the court if that were to be challenged by somebody who actually had a valid voter's card and is being prevented from voting because of the inefficiencies or the lack of modern contemplation of the electoral office. I'll put it that way nicely. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that means
Yeah.
that means then
Mm-hmm.
that people who the commissioner lock up, I mean, they say it, no, not you,
Mm.
in a prison, before they went to jail, they have a voter's ID, and successful government has been denying these people the
Yes.
right to go out and vote. And same way they have been denying some of the Jamaicans who are languishing in prisons in our country for many years, who have never gone in front of a judge, much as to see the doors of a courthouse. Their constitutional right is being taken away from them then.
I would say that. I'm saying the starting point is my rights is breached. It triggers the constitution, and it triggers the response of the government to say why it is demonstrably justifiable to do so. For instance, you have the comment section on every social media platforms. You have the village lawyers who
Yes.
know everything, like Killian Henry. She has read the JCF Act. I don't know what section she has read, but it teaches her. So I'm going to assume she or he is self-taught, but says that I'm talking nonsense because the only thing they said that you have when you are incarcerated is your right to life. No, if that's not the dumbest comment I've heard from time immemorial, I don't know what else to say.
The
Because
JCF Act.
that's what your one of your
Hold on for me, Isaac.
I'm just reading the comments.
I saw it. I just saw it a while ago.
Yes.
So you're what she's saying, that the JCF Act is higher than the Constitution of Jamaica.
That's her thought, because she's learned.
God help us.
And she went to law school, and they know everything. And I'm just saying, she has told your public, or he, Killian, I'm going to think that's a man. I don't know.
Yes.
But the Henry person has said the only right that you have is the right to life. And she says her authority, or he says his authority for that, is the JCF Act, because the JCF Act teaches her that. But I will tell you this, that the JCF that I know, no so dons, and would never teach that to its citizens or its officers. And so under the guidance of the Commissioner Blake, I'm rejecting that nonsense for him on behalf of your viewers.
Yes.
That's starting point. And I will say to you, that apart from when you are placed in incarceration, where you forfeit your right to freedom of movement, because what we do know is that all your other rights are maintained. It is not suspended. So that is the conversation that we're having. But it also goes to show, do you forfeit your most important right to vote if, for instance, you are detained and not afforded bail at the time of election? Like so many persons who during elections, when there is a states of emergencies and stuff like that operating, when COVID was operating and movement was restricted, that they missed their opportunity to vote. Were constitutional rights breached because things were put in place? Where there are activists who are also detained during election? Come on, man.
So hold on there, Isaac. Hold on there. Do you have a copy of the Constitution there with you now?
Hold on.
Yes, you can make this.
Just talk. Let me go for it. I'll soon come.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah.
Please go ahead. We're speaking to well-renowned attorney at law.
I crave your indulgence.
Please, we're speaking to attorney at law Isat Buchanan pertaining to people who are incarcerated. So that means that if a Jamaican citizen on election day is being locked up and didn't get the chance to vote, his constitutional right has been breached there. It is under our constitution, and many of us must consult our constitution more than coming on social media and being an idiot. Consult your constitution. Go and Google your constitution. Go and Google the constitution. You have a right to vote. Even on election day, if you're being locked up for anything at all, and you're being denied the right to vote, they have breached your fundamental constitutional rights. You see? It is being breached. Go ahead.
So again, let's take it slow because we have detractors. I'm not here to teach your one person only, right? I'm ignoring one person.
Please do.
The one person is the Henry person, whether it's a male or a female, a hermaphrodite, or identifies as a tree. One thing we know is clear is we have a dunce among us, and we're here to educate.
Indeed.
And this is not arrogance. It's just whenever village lawyers, it has become a trend where village lawyers like to speak about things they know not. They like to misquote law, and they like to make Jamaica seem backward when it really isn't.
Don't worry yourself. It's one of the Labour Party propagandists.
Work with me. Work with me.
Go ahead.
It's called the Charter of Rights. It's a part.
Hold on, I can see it.
This is the Jamaican Constitution, and we're dealing with the Charter of Rights. Section 13, right? And we're going all the way down to 13.3, and we're going down to M. 13.3M. And remember, we had this conversation, the difference between registration to vote and when you are registered to vote.
Yes.
Okay? It says the right of every citizen of Jamaica who, one, is qualified to be registered as an elector for elections to the House of Representatives to be so registered. That's a constitutional right.
Yes.
So you're qualified to be registered. And part 2, M2 says, who is so registered to vote in a free and fair elections. It is the right for every citizen who is registered to vote in a free and fair election to do so.
There you go.
It says that if you are registered, we are speaking about persons who registered, enumerated at the time. So you are qualified to vote and you have a valid voter's ID. That preparation has been made for you to vote if they actually put you in a situation where you are not able to do so. And we're talking about modernizing a system. For instance, if I am on a course of studies in the United Kingdom and my prime minister decides to call an election while I'm studying and I'm going to be, my master's finishes in summer, but you call, for instance, a local government election where I have a vested interest in who my counselor is, are you telling me that I should pay my ticket to come home and put my hand, dip my finger in ink to ensure that some incompetent nincompoop don't represent me? That is a breach of my rights. That is what I'm saying, and I'm saying we should march along to try to update our laws, similar to the United States, where half of the diaspora is right now, and there are people who can be in Afghanistan at war or in Israel and Palestine right now. And if an election is called like the most important election, where it is decided where Joe Biden or Donald Trump would be the president of the United States, a rematch, if you would ever call it, which we probably never have seen in our lifetime, a rematch, yes, of the greatest sorts is going to take place, and because you happen to be deployed in Israel, you don't get to vote? Come on, man. We're talking about updating our systems for inclusiveness. And for those people who feel, all right, let me ignore this person. Are we talking about voters or are we talking about elective officials? And since you want to be a nuisance, I'm going to just address that. Are you here to learn, or are you a paid insurgent who comes on the Jeffrey Tavares?
Man, is a paid propagandist of the Labour Party.
Okay. I just making sure, because I'm just simply here to spread knowledge, to say there's a school of thought, and then we deal with it. Especially in light, Mr. Tavares, this week the Court of Appeal of Jamaica answered a very seminal issue about how people in Jamaica feel about incarcerated persons.
Yes, go ahead. Talk to us about
it. There has been from time immemorial, well before Isat, Buchanan and the GLC and that Rasta boy that was called to the bar. Before that case, there has been a misconception about the effect of a conviction on somebody. I'm here to tell you that incarceration is to identify the beginning of rehabilitation. When you do wrong, you must be punished. If found guilty in a court of law, you must be sentenced. It doesn't mean you are stripped of your humanity. And it doesn't mean you're discarded from society. The purpose of incarceration is for rehabilitation. Having done so, the highest courts of the land, certainly Jamaica, in a case called Lane, right? You at Lane, out of Grenada.
Yes, I heard about that case.
Because of the Grenada 5. The court answered seminal questions about good character and fit and proper. And it says the standard for fit and proper is prospective. It's as of now. In other words, you can commit any crime you want, but if you are able to prove rehabilitation, you are in a position to be given the fair opportunity, provided that you're given a fair hearing. That is the law of natural justice. And the court just yesterday handed down his judgment. I was the attorney in that matter for a man called Michael Reed. And the real estate board now has to give him a fair hearing to see if he's fit and proper. If he can provide the proof that he has been rehabilitated. So all a conviction is a marker for somebody to recognize that they are on thin ice. So you would be surprised that you would have less persons who having been convicted is not likely to re-offend because they don't want to go back to prison. And so you won't have people like the illicit six who don't want to become criminals, so they don't want to be identified. And so they can stay on thief, or they can stay and do whatever they want to do. I don't know their names, but I'm saying these are why people hide. So we must get away from that misconception and understand that. Now, twofold. I never said to your public, because the Constitution is what I go by. It says, One of it says who is qualified to be registered as an elector. An elector for elections to the House of Representatives is a candidate. I've never said that a convicted person while in prison is qualified to be the candidate. He's running a sentence. I don't see how he would be able to be your representative if he's doing a sentence. That's a completely different situation from somebody who's incarcerated that says, I want to dip my finger in ink so that if I get out in 6 months, I don't fall into a nightmare where my MP is somebody who I don't like or my council is not somebody I approve of. And as we can see from the last elections, it only takes one vote sometimes to be the councillor or to be an MP. Every vote counts. What we are doing is simply having a conversation to speak about the importance of the vote and not to disenfranchise people from that vote. It includes young people who are disinterested because you have people like Killian Henry that is talking nonsense. You are to empower young people. You are to empower incarcerated people. You are to empower every single citizen of the country to have an interest to vote. We should have a 99% turnout when it comes to voting. Everybody should want to vote. Everybody should be educated to understand who qualifies and who doesn't qualify. So there's a different, and this is a different conversation. You are actually disqualified to register to vote if you are serving a sentence of 6 months or you're sentenced to death or you had some election fraud or stuff like that, and rightly so. But if you are registered to vote, you are not to be disenfranchised because we don't have fixed term elections. So nobody can say you should have known say the election gonna be November 2nd. You shouldn't go commit no crime if you did really want to vote. So yeah, this is the conversation that we're having now. And I'm saying, like all the time when everybody say I chat nonsense, it is something to advance the jurisprudence that it may very well be tested in the court because you may not want to be disenfranchised, and it is one of the mechanisms in this very constitution to maintain human rights and humanity. So when somebody say, you're convicted, you can't vote, you lose all your rights, the only rights you have is your right to life. Well,
nonsense.
You are so misguided. The constitution says otherwise. So don't come tell me about any legislation that is inferior. Is one done in Jamaica and it's the Constitution.
Let me answer this question then, Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
That means, well, let me say this. Let me say this. That means you would encourage everyone, every single Jamaican, both home and abroad, to get a copy of the Constitution and know your fundamental rights, huh?
I'm telling you, get a copy of the Charter. Google it. Google Charter of Rights 2011. It's free. And read it. And don't be a Killian Henry. Go and Google for yourself. Yes? Go and Google it. And Killian, I am proud. I'm a proud person who have been through the justice system. And I can tell you the same thing. I am a lawyer and I know you are not and never will be. You're just simply too dunce. You just have to answer you like that. So don't tell me I am a criminal and you are not, because I don't care. But the point I'm making is this, and I just want people to understand something. I'm not affected by that, but to say that when people are trying to get them, don't move them. Don't remove them. Don't remove them. Don't remove them. Please don't remove them. That's the beauty of our constitution. It gives the freedom to have conflicting ideas. It's a part of freedom of expression. So don't block people when they come and talk nonsense. But if you trust me, if you want to do it, I am here from it. I am here for it. That's the point I'm making. Believe me.
Yes, go ahead, man.
Yeah, and see, the person's so retarded they can't even execute a proper Sir P joke. so type it back, Killian. It's I sprat Backerman. That's what Sir P said. Because he's a little bit brighter than you, but you're too dunce to follow through. But anyway, let's finish what I was saying now. Mr. Tavares.
Go ahead, sir.
we must get to a place where we understand that Jamaica is for everybody. Equality before the law, exclusive. It's not exclusive to no one class if it's inclusive for all. So that it cannot be that the diaspora, just because you have left Jamaica to seek a better life, and we who are left here as the beneficiaries of barrels and iPhones and everything that comes through the border at Christmas at Christmas time, that you cannot then be inclusive. Even though it is that at this time, what Rattigan and the Dirty 30 and Dr. Rupert Francis has done to the diaspora. I don't know the difference between the Diaspora Council and the real diaspora, but when I was young, they used to have the rap battles, and Roxanne and the real Roxanne and Roxanne Shante, and everybody fight over the name Roxanne. Sing all the thing a song named Roxanne. We have a sister named Roxanne, and everybody and we fight. The diaspora is fighting with the people of the diaspora about a logo that came from Google. Just these little basic stuff. And what they would have done is they said, the government diaspora want to keep diaspora conference. We the real diaspora. We the real diaspora now. We gonna keep our conference after them. That's so like sound clash, if you ask me. But it's all in the name of the democratic process. That's what I love about Jamaica. The freedom to make noise, the freedom to be a Killian and just chat foolishness, and nobody removes you because you're included. Because what my grandfather teach you and my father teach you is that you can learn from a dummy. So a dummy like me, I always want people to learn from me. So when I chat in nonsense, if you at least disagree, it opens the discourse for conversations for us to be better. That's what we are here for. But I am advocating for not only the diaspora, I'm advocating for persons who have been enumerated, who is actually registered, not to be disenfranchised. And we need to learn to in the technological age, how to make the voting process work and be more effective. So even now as we speak, there's a challenge from the Speaker of the House constituency, the Kentire division is taking a challenge about voting irregularity. And we're talking about the difference in some 10, 11 votes, and arguments being made by lawyers that they moved the polling station, or the polling station closed too early, or it was difficult to get to the polling station, or people did too dunce for understand so the polling station moved, people who can't read and write, all of these things coming up. And the court is going to really look into these things, And if it is that there are things that are done by the state actors to frustrate somebody's right to vote, trust me, somebody's going to be very unhappy if the argument from attorneys, as novel as they seem, is in tandem with the law and upholds the Constitution, in particular the 13M2.
Read it again for us, Isaac.
Every Jamaica, the right of every Jamaican citizen of Jamaica who is registered to vote in a free and fair, in a free elections. You have that right. Every citizen has that right. The right of every citizen of Jamaica who is registered is to vote in a free and fair elections. So when I say it no free and fair, because I never have gas money for go up at top of Kentire district. And when I left work at 12 o'clock and the JUTC bus broke down, and when I get up there and I put in the Google map that it was supposed to be at the primary school, and you move it to the high school, which is 3 miles more, you disenfranchise me. That's a possibility. I'm not saying it may be true, but one wonders. Because then when people close polling stations early, because we have a physical rule, There's no form of convenience to vote. These are tools to disenfranchise the right to vote under 13.3M. All I'm doing is putting that out. So, to conclude on this particular thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
This particular aspect is we must make a distinction from whether you're excluded or qualified to register to vote versus having been registered to vote. What is the message? Can you be disenfranchised? That is the conversation that we're having now. And my thought is this: if you are registered to vote, there should be, or my submission is, there should be a mechanism to ensure that there are no clogs and fetters in your way, especially in a voting environment or a political system that does not have election certainty. You cannot plan your affairs around elections.
So, Mr. Buchanan, what you're saying to us then, that if there is people in lockups in our country that has a voter ID and still they're on the voters list, the government of Jamaica should put in place a mechanism for them to vote then.
Right.
And if they don't do that, they have breached their fundamental rights.
It is a fundamental right, and it is a breach. It is a breach which I have identified, and I say, somebody says my right has been, is being, or in relation to the upcoming general election is likely to be.
So you're saying anyone who is locked up now under the Constitution can bring a viable case to the court of Jamaica then, if they were registered to vote.
Yes, I'm saying that.
Very interesting. Okay, for all those who live outside of Jamaica now, like people in the diaspora, like Rattigan and all of them.
Yes.
Under our Constitution they have the right to vote, but isn't there a but in it wherein if they haven't been in Jamaica for 6 months, reside in Jamaica for 6 months, they can't? And this is my thing. But let me just tell you this right now. So I'm seeing also people inviting me to read amendments and amendments to legislation that's inferior to the Constitution. My starting point is if I read the Constitution and the Constitution tell me I have something, if the legislation deprives me of something the Constitution tell me I have, you best believe I am telling the court that legislation should be struck out. Anything that breaches the Constitution is void to the extent of its inconsistency. That's the law. That's constitutional law. And so you can make any amendment that you want that can suit you as the government of the day. So I can invite you to put it there and tell me what it says. If it's inconsistent with what I have said, it can be challenged. Yeah, and I will follow Mr. Open Brain that says I should take up residency in England because if it goes there, it goes there. That's what litigation is about. That is what the One Jamaica Legal Defense Fund is about, and that is what we do. And people can be upset about it, but I'm telling you that the rights matter, human rights matter. And if this conversation should have started with the importance to vote. Because some of those people that are behaving like it's only them and them friend must vote. You would be very sad when you hear that if you don't own people. There was a time where if you never owned land, you couldn't vote. If you wasn't a part of the planter class, you couldn't vote. Ask Afro-Americans they were slaves and couldn't vote. And they did amendments to the Constitution that made them what? 75% human being or something like that? You tell me. But so many things that what after people like Rosa Parks decide she's not sitting in the back of the bus and all of these things. One wonders how it is that after people go through all of that, the people them don't want to take bus. Yeah? After people fight for people to get education, people don't want to get the education.
You get the right to vote, and people's like, I'm not feeling the electoral process, I can't bother. But there was a time when you never had the right, and we must never discourage people from see there. Thank you, Ricardo Cunningham, 1/5 human being, whatever that is. So, and when people throw numbers around, Ricardo, it always bothers me when we get statistics that the year ended and 173.2 persons died. I want to know where the other 0.8 is, because I thought to be dead you had to be a whole person. So statistics don't work for me, and it is a little bit misleading and misguided. I'm saying we are to have the conversation about the importance of vote. I spoke to a young man today, and he says he's not voting because politicians not doing anything. And I said, what are you gonna do about changing that? Why not become the politician? And he said, I didn't know that I could do that. I said, why don't you and your friends get together, do canvassing, decide how much people in that area needs to be the councillor, and then vote, make a pact and vote that day. Everything is not always about money and vote buying. It's not always about KFC and 6-piece chicken that you can bribe me with for my vote. It's not everybody as simple-minded as me. So we must be able to have that type of conversation, and that's my contribution on this matter, because we don't need to use ad hominem to say what we should try to think about, what we should try to think about advance in our society and giving effects to rights that our forefathers died for. The rights and freedoms within the Constitution, many of our forefathers died for it.
Oh, yes.
Conversations like with Stush, and we're looking down on Haiti, but Haiti championed the cause for freedom for black people, and they're still paying for it. And we use borders and CARICOM differences to behave like we're not one and the same. But anyway, I digress, because I'm not here to start a revolution. I was just giving my 2 cents on what.
No, but yeah.
I'm just saying what I think we ought to think about, and we should go away from. I invite persons to look at the Michael Reed against the Real Estate Board decision and look at the brilliance of the legal mind of the Court of Appeal, and then appreciate why we should move away from importance and continue to advance our jurisprudence. That is where we are. Everybody don't have to be upset with me for saying we should try to advance jurisprudence and make good with understanding what it is that we need.
Sorry about that.
That's fine, man.
Can you give us some more in-depth about the Constitution based on the right to vote?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything more can give us about that?
I mean, after understanding, all right, let's look at it this way. The Constitution the language is so clear. The language itself is so clear. That's the starting point. It has 2 facets to it. The distinction between wanting to be an elected official versus somebody who is registered to vote and the process for registration. The Representations of Persons Act sets out all kind of things, and there's a 2011 amendment from the 1944 Act. It speaks about, all right, it say persons who are entitled to vote. Hold on, it speaks about somebody sent me to this. It says on election day, he is an inmate of any mental hospital or undergoing any sentence of imprisonment. I know that's where they're going. And this is this is a 2011 amendment, right? Mm-hmm. And it also says people who are incapable, at the time to vote. People who are entitled to vote, but note, it also says any person under any enactment for the time being enforced in Jamaica certified to be insane or otherwise adjudged to be of unsound mind. So the amendment seems to try to suggest that you can't, you forfeit the right, but it cannot. This was an amendment that tried to whittle down this, which makes it clear. Its language says if you are registered to vote in free and fair elections. So, having been registered, the question is, can I be disenfranchised? And I'm humbly submitting that the answer to that is no. And I think that if it's taken to the highest court of the land, they will say that the legislation breaches the right to the extent of its inconsistency with the clear language of the Constitution.
Yes.
They remember, my starting point is I think that our charter is so revolutionary that we've had so many. Can I curse on this thing? We've had so many let me not say OSHIT, but snap moments. Like, oh snap, I can't believe we gave them this right. Let's run and have an amendment. Yeah? Kind of like, oh snap, the people we like, they can't be in their jobs anymore. Let's amend the Constitution. That kind of thing. But when you amend an act, it doesn't override the Constitution. And say Big Jaman said the Constitution can and is amended in all Constitution. It can be, the Constitution can be amended, but not and legislation cannot amend the Constitution. You have to amend the Constitution. So as we are having this conversation, there's nothing to prevent our drafters to go and take the right out, pass it by whether it be ordinary legislation or whatever they want. But all I can say, as it is right now, the Constitution says you have that right, and if it is breached, if it has been breached, is being breached, and is likely to be breached, then I think it's a valid argument. I'm not by myself. I'm saying this is something that we should think about. And we're talking about the difference between someone having been registered versus about somebody who is trying to register.
So do you have any idea if somebody who is incarcerated, who had the right to vote, have they took the government to court? Have any idea if that ever happened in Jamaica?
No, that has not happened, because usually when you are incarcerated, you're worried about your freedom. That is the thing. You try and remember, I have a very, 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 very famous client that was worried about his freedom, and they breached his right one day and decided to put him on 23-hour lockdown, and they didn't have toilets in the prison. And I sued. And the week wasn't done, and he has flushing toilets, and the toilet nicer than people who live a road right now. Government badness. Government give them better toilet than poor people are road.
Let me ask you this, counsel. Let me ask you this. You're an attorney, and I'm pretty much sure you have seen how many times prisoners in prisons' rights has been taken away from them when it comes on to basic things in the prison. What, I mean, apart from you suing that because you're aware of that, do you know about any other rights being taken away from prisoners within the prison? Like, they're being refused food or all those things?
Of course. Listen, all right, let me enlighten you. The Corrections Act, yes? How our law sets up is when you are convicted, the process is not complete unless you said, I'm not going to appeal. So unless you indicate to the prison officials that you're not having an appeal, you don't start to run a sentence until you have exhausted your appeal. So
hold on there.
Yes.
Hold on there for me. So that means that if Mark ramping soon then, or ramping shop then, is being the court say must get locked up or whatever, and he has not appealed the sentencing then, so he sentenced to whatever, he has not appealed that, he's not serving a sentence until he if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, his conviction isn't certified, until the appeal is affirmed until the
I never
courts
know that.
exhausted all your remedy. So he remains an appellant. And the
Okay.
right of an appellant is set out clearly. So let me give you an idea.
Go ahead.
As an appellant, you can wear your own clothes. If you can afford it, you can bring your own bed into the prison. You can say, bring my family and have your birthday party. You don't have to eat the nasty food in prison. You can see your own doctor. You don't have to get government services because you are simply a visitor of the state. And so you're not supposed to be treated like and be subjected to the animal cruelty that is the current state of our prison systems. And if I sound the way I sound is, I'm very disgusted about the way how the inmates are being housed. It's less than humane conditions, and successive governments have inherited that. It is the same, the buildings, with the exceptions of Horizon and maybe Tambourine Farm, are the identical prisons that were the ports for the slaves. The same place the slaves went to is the same building, same structure. Some of that structure have asbestos in it. You know the type of lawsuits that take place, and persons get sick, persons get ill. If your nose big like mine, when I go in there, the place smells so horrible. I can smell everything that is bad in that prison. So we take things for granted because it's not your son and it's not your daughter. But they always say, he who feels it knows it, you know. So you can't. When you talk about rights, the rights of appellants, pursuant to both the Constitution and the Act, are breached every day. They don't get the visits that they're supposed to get. They don't have phones to make phone calls to maintain the right to family life, which is a right that everybody have in the protection of family life. Yeah? And see here the right to every person to protection of private and family life and the privacy of the home. But protection of family life is a part of it as well.
So if a person, if all right, say they lock up those three guys during the state of emergency, then they lock them up.
Yeah.
And they're there. Can a police deny his family from seeing him?
They're not supposed to. They're not supposed to.
Is the police officer breaching his constitutional right by doing that?
First of all, if you're locked up in a state of emergency, your constitutional rights are breached. Unless the state of emergency is a legal one. So I don't like to have conversations about that because every state of emergency called in Jamaica have been illegal. And I maintain that.
So, okay. Forget about the state of emergency. If you're driving and they lock you up because you didn't pay the speeding ticket, and they refuse your family from coming and bring your toothbrush and whatever to you and clothes and whatever to you, aren't they breaching your constitutional right there?
It's tricky. Like I say, even though we have what is known as a breach, the breach can be demonstrably justifiable. So these are conversations that we are to have so that officers and warders and persons in the government system can have an appreciation for it. That's the simple start or the simple place where we get to that understanding.
Wow. I'm learning something tonight because I didn't know that the part with the appeal section there. I didn't know that part at all.
Yeah, but it's a real thing. So it's a tricky thing. But when we talk about rights, just remember the only right that you lose when you are incarcerated is your freedom of movement. Your right.
Freedom of movement, yes.
Yeah, the right to move freedom of movement across Jamaica because you forfeit that right by virtue of your sentence. But your health, your dissemination of information, all of that, it's not you don't lose it. Your human rights are still valid, every single one of them.
So for over all these years since independent Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
Successful government has been breaching the rights of the Jamaican people in so many ways. The state of emergency, when you're incarcerated, so many things.
Mm-hmm.
As an attorney at law, what is it that we're going to do? I mean, forget about attorney. As a Jamaican citizen, do you think that the Jamaican people should say, hey, this is enough? We have to do something about this now.
So don't you think that we should be saying this is enough when it comes to poverty?
True.
As Jamaican citizens, are we okay with poverty? Because just very few of us are okay. And because Jamaica is such a high crime society and we suffer from this post-traumatic slave syndrome and post-traumatic crime experience, we just cope. As some good slaves who are not house Negroes, we just cope with the whipping and the lashing and the oppression. How can you be okay with poverty? How can you not demand that our brothers and sisters not live in abject poverty? So persons who find themselves in trouble and find themselves incarcerated, they're not a special class better than the people who are behaving themselves and are in the same conditions. You have people who are free living in the same prison conditions. You don't think we need to think about that, fixing that for them so that they can, some of the people don't vote because them say, not even have a toilet. I don't have a pot to piss in when me I vote for. Because nobody empower them. The only time people are nice to poor people is during election time. And we don't think that there is a problem for that. And there's a call for making so many people basic, right? And say, I'm seeing what's happening in the comments, but see, Victor Williams said that's why the people need education. That's true, but that's exactly why they're not educating the people. And that's exactly why every time you try to educate people, they tell you to shut up because you're messing with the status quo. So when people are paid to come on platforms to be gadflies and to detract and to spit ad hominem and all of that, to make the program distracted so people don't talk about important issues, so we all can have the discussion through public awareness, because nobody cares. If you're having a bad day, nobody cares, much less. And we major in the minor. We major in the minor. I go into the prison and I'm tired of having conversations where I have to tell people, hey, I've been in prison already. Except I was in the United States. And today there are persons who are living in Jamaica that have not lived in an environment as posh as the federal prison that I was housed in. So standard is a hell of a thing, you know. So
yes,
for one, like people, I see them here talking about contraband and this and this. I'm doubling down on this, you know. You don't have a phone on the wall. When this is more than 16 years now or whatever that I've been out of prison. I'm giving you timeline. 16 years I've been out of prison. But for the 10 years or close to 10 years that I was in prison, a phone call was $1 per minute from 1999. A 15-minute call was $15. And if I was on this program and wanted to call you in, $15 for 15 minutes, and we've been talking for 1 hour and 5 minutes. I'm almost paying. My math is bad, but I know I've gone more than $60 already in this conversation, right? And that's a lot of money for one good conversation, much less to be there for 10 years and spending about 300. You have 300 minutes at $15 a minute. And the government don't feel like they want to make that resources, and you're worried about cell phones and this and this, because people are going to, just like how we have to fend for ourselves because we are incapable of fighting crime. Not blaming government, you know. We, the Jamaican people, are incapable of fighting crimes for many reasons. But you don't think, when I was in prison, I had the right to my family life because I could call my family every single day.
So
and who wanted to talk to me could pay for it. So when a girl loved me and say, I still love you, Isat, I said, send me $15. I was chopping the line in prison for a long time. Say, I love you, babe, send me $15 so we can talk. Yeah.
So let me ask a question.
Yeah.
In the prisons in Jamaica, do they have telephones on the wall that the people can call out?
They had nothing in there. You might can schedule a super phone call once in a while, but it's even that phone call the government have to pay for it because they're not charging the inmates for it. And I'm saying don't be nice to me. If you're gonna lock me up, ensure that I have a bed that doesn't have chink. Ensure that I'm in a healthy sanitary environment, because it's you locking me up. Ensure that I can call if I can, and then the only reason why I shouldn't have a phone call is because I cannot afford it. So then I could get on the phone and I could say, babe, I want to talk to you tonight. Send me a $5,000. Let me put on my phone so me and you can talk, babe. Yeah.
So right now, as we speak, there is not a telephone system in the prisons for the prisoners in our country, Jamaica land we love. The country that they said that the dirty 30 is bringing down the reputation of Jamaica.
Yeah.
My God.
Correct.
No.
So these are issues. So these issues are not limited to popular clients and stuff like that. Everybody is your sons and daughters, some of them who are actually innocent. And I'm also advocating for an Innocence Project, because we now know that there are persons who are put into prison under very suspect circumstances. And if we care for people, that's something that we need to take the charge to ensure that the guilty are found guilty and the innocent escape the wrongful convictions, like first world countries. But I thought it's not Kim Kardashian. So until Kim Kardashian comes on board and decide that the Negroes in Jamaica needs an Innocent Project, I will go and holler it. But listen, man, woe be unto Jamaica when Kim Kardashian link up with Isat and we start the Innocence Project. Watch and see. Mark my word. This is gonna be online, so they're gonna see it. When one of the greatest white women in the world, puts her attention on Jamaica, like I saw, what's your name? The Hilton girl. I can't remember.
Yes.
What's your name?
Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton come to Jamaica and said, somebody feel up the little boys and girls from America who was at the boarding school, and the week never done and them lock up everybody. And I can tell you about, when I was working at Jamaicans for Justice, I can tell you about the homes. I could cry on it right now. And them rape the little girl them, and them feel up the little boy them, and them abuse them, and not one person go to prison for it. And Paris Hilton come to Jamaica and say they abuse the boys from America who was in boarding school, and them lock up everybody and them mother. So you see, when Kim Kardashian say, I don't like that the guys in jail don't have a phone and they don't have TVs to watch the 96th season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Watch and see that Jamaica not going to bend backwards to ensure that not one person who is innocent is in prison. So I'm going to have to kill up myself and argue with your comment section about things like this. But don't tell me about illegal cell phones when you're not providing phones. Yeah? Don't tell me about nutrition when you're not providing nutrition. Don't tell me about you don't have about right to life when you're not providing the sustenance and the rubilous and the things to make sure people are not weak jellyback man in prison because you're not feed them and you're not caring for them. Don't tell me about those things, because when you persons are sentenced to prison in Jamaica, you literally sentencing them to die. Are the fittest of the fit and the strongest of the strongest survive that inhumane dog kennel that them have as prisons. And
So
anybody
what is Jamaican, Mr. Buchanan, what is the Jamaican for Justice doing all about this? And the human rights group we have in our country?
they can do so much. Stand up for Jamaica. Stand up for Jamaica, along with Jamaicans for Justice. They are continuing the advocacy for freeing the mentally ill persons. That's another class. You hear the people behaving. You have the mentally ill people like George Williams, who they don't even want to pay a decent sum after having him locked up for 50 years. Just last week or the week before, Justice Pusey would have freed a man on conditions from his family because of his mental thing. But he was, 40 odd years in prison. So they are there. And the people who put them there have died and gone, and some have Alzheimer's, the system has revamped. So I'm not blaming the government now or the one just before. This is happening from the 70s and the 60s. 40 years is my lifetime. So if somebody is in prison, I free a man that was locked up for 50 years, and at the time when I free him, I was not 45 yet. Before
I saw that video with you. You were a young attorney at that time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm still young, but boy, the way when you comment section across me, we get about 5-6 gray here. I'm just for men when we come off because Killian Henry trace me. Yeah, well, I'm just using that to say these are conversations to be had. So again, I know we've been at it for an hour and 12 minutes, but believe me, man, it's a conversation to have about people's rights when they have them. And we don't just forfeit them. The right to vote is a whole conversation in terms of empowering people to exercise that right. That's it, simplicity. And if you feel like the people in prison shouldn't be able to vote, then government right, the people in the diaspora, shouldn't vote, don't have no ties to this. We don't care about the properties that you have down here. In fact, stay away for 12 years so we can take them from you. Take them so we can capture them. Stay America, stay with Trump and stay with Biden. We don't want in the back here, but hey, Christmas will come, send a nice barrel for me, pack it up for me. Yeah, that's
in other words, we
don't want you. If that is not skettle behavior, I don't know what it is. I'm just being real with you. When I process it, and it's the same thing. So we're talking about groups that are being excluded when they have rights, and we should have conversations about method of registration in a technological age. Our airports now, it's the most uncomfortable thing for me. Them sending me over to them place, there's some cubicle something where the machine and take me and I do everything and nobody want to talk to me. I like to talk to my custom officer. But say I just come from London and it was cold. I mean, check the accent. By the time I reach customs, I can perfect it. When we go on, let me just arrive and I say, hey, Mr. Custom Officer, come a bag full of a contraband and I'm not declare it. The mountain still over there. Is the Blue Mountain still up there? I haven't been here for 3 days, Yeah. No, they must send me a cubicle for coming at the place. That kind of thing. So if they can do it for the airports, why aren't we thinking about how to sufficiently use the biodata, sufficiently use the technology, like how we have had multiple conversations on. I see you on your platform and I can see you by Friday on Ratigan, and we are connected and they know that's you and they know that's me. When I was on the Andre show, the affidavit was written that I know Isat face, I know it's him. He was disrespectful, and fine him and disbar him and give him the death penalty through video conferencing. So if you can know my big nose and my big head and the gray hair when we just catch a while ago, you must can make me vote whether I'm in England when you call election. Can you imagine that? Me will chat too much. The Prime Minister just wait for me go up on the plane and say, call it! So just so me can vote.
You put on in clocks.
Yeah, put on as him hear the plane fly off. Him just decide make a call it now. Just Cardo or Isat to vote. That we need to do away from that because you disenfranchised because I don't know when you're gonna call it. My life can't stop because I want to exercise my right to vote. So there's a lot of things. We need certainty of election dates so people can plan their affairs, including decide like our athletes know the Olympics is every 4 years and they train for it and they have babies and they have families and they put their money in SSL and they lose all of it and they plan to make sure they move to Australia to make sure so they have no teeth no more of them money. We have to know certainty in certain things so we'll be able to move. That's the type of conversations that we're having. And I'm going to leave it there because I know I might have said a lot to offend a lot of people, but when it comes to constitutional rights, we need to know them one by one, including the freedom to exchange thoughts and ideas. I'm exercising my constitutional rights to do so, and I don't have the answers for everything, and I don't know everything, which is why when I'm invited to these shows, I have the conversation. And if I'm wrong, I want somebody to make it right. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my thought on that.
So let's go back to the house thing where they said that they can stay in the United States with Donald Trump. That means that Mr. Rattigan have to stay in the United States and don't come back to Waterhouse with that little house and behind him there then.
If he hasn't been here in 12 years, I goodly my name upon the house then now. It's called adverse possession. So that's so when I hear government say we don't want in the back here and don't have to be in the house to register, that's them telling you no, don't come back because you goodly come at the house and say you had the address, but we put 30 people in there for vote for we when election time comes. So you mess up our business right now. You people
So
in the diaspora.
That means that Rattigan talking about house that he don't have anymore.
No, cause we can tell you the blue drum where him there behind my teeth that it outside in my yard long time ago I want out tomorrow.
Oh my God. Isat Buchanan, it's been a great pleasure talking to you this evening, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
You know, I think we need to do this more often on your channel and other channels where, you know, and I know you did something on the Constitution with a lot of people on Rattigan's program before.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what we need to do when it comes on to the prison section, the prison in our country.
Yes.
By the way, your views on the idea when a new prison was proposed to Jamaica by the British to build a new prison in Jamaica, you think that they should have taken that offer?
Listen to me. I know England might hear it. When them say, I'm going to give you prison and I'm going to send, the wrong accent down. Let me fix it. Hold on. Start over. I'm going to give you a prison and I'm going to send all your Jamaicans back to you and you're going to keep them. Is that all right? The first thing I'm going to do is say, yo, bring them, come. And I'm going to set up a big sign and I'm going to get a whole committee, pay them probably $60 million each. Ask Nigel if we can use the money because he's the man that have all the ideas. And we're going to put all our friends on the panels and we're going to say, listen, we're going to take those prisoners and half of them is non-violent and we're going to give them ankle bracelets and we're going to free them. And we have a whole new prison and we're not detaining people, but we're so gung-ho on locking up people. Because right now, if Trump wants to give me 10 prisons and send back all the diaspora, just because he don't want Biden to win, I'm going to build 10 prisons and send flights straight to Mexico and say, Biden, help me out. Take them back for me. And then and then we chop Trump and help Biden. Take the prison bill. We don't have the prison right now. And the laws in England have since been changed to ensure that the Windrush generation are protected, and they've strengthened their immigration laws and they've done many things, and even in between the consulates and everybody, they're being a little less harsh in terms of deportation. even for myself as an attorney, I understand the purpose of immigration. Yeah? I now know why they call it a passport. We have to know who is going to and fro from our borders, and it's for the protections of the citizens generally. So people, it's the onus on people and even government to ensure that them citizens behaving a certain way, acting a certain way. And so we should have no problem. And I'm telling you, nothing is not wrong with deportation. I'm a very successful returning resident who was sent home on a private jet with other persons in some rap chains bigger than Busta Rhymes zone, both on my hands and feet. Yes, see, yes, I had on some ankle bracelets as well. But anyway, I'm just using that. So I'm making light of a situation to say that we should try to remove the stigmas that come with it. Even persons, I know people in America who either they entered wrongly, the immigration gives them an opportunity to self-deport. And then after 6 months, they're back in America. They do it right because they know the law.
Right.
And we so used to right now, if we say, yo, the dirty 30 are going to keep a dance, a Rattigan yard, admission free, people are going to still jump the fence because they must say, we see the blue truck. We're going to jump the fence because we're not paying, we're not give one Jamaica legal defense fund no money. We're going to jump the fence. We're going to jump the fence in our free dance. You see what I'm saying? We need to change that. So my thought is this: we should have taken the prison. It was a bad mistake. I've done so, and many things would have changed since then. And in any event, the flights are coming home, and if they deport them, the Constitution says you have to let them in. You can't stop them. You have to take them.
Right, and but by the way, if they had taken the whole thing with the prison from Britain and send back home the prisoners, Jamaica have no legal right to hold them in prison either because they didn't come with the crime on Jamaican trial.
No, but even if they did by the mutual, they do under the Mutual Assistance Act. If they and also they do. They do. We have agreements, just like how we have the extradition agreement. If it is that it's a crime in England and you commit the crime, there are things though. We are lazy because our legislation can update it. But it's the same way. People, all right, for instance, when I was convicted in America, if we had strengthened our legislation, they could have deported me, and then our laws at the time, even now, what they gave me 10 years for, we pay fines for in Jamaica. It's a fine.
I didn't know.
Even now, our Dangerous Drug Act, we have heavy fines, and then depending on the level of offense, then the judge fine and time. Because that's and it's a viable system. So in life is so funny because in America they have the same scamming stuff. They do. You should see the deals that they make with those people. They say, okay, let's forfeit your property, and they take the Benz and the this and the that and the that, and they do it in federal auctions, and the person gets 18 months and 2 months and stuff like that. So so it's the same thing. So in persons who I knew that was convicted, what I was convicted with, they were in Canada. They went back, and Canada do it and do something sentence computation, and they were out in 18 months.
So hold on there, Isaac. What you're saying to me now, if those prisoners, because I'm trying to understand some part of what you said, if those prisoners in Britain were sent back to Jamaica on the new prison system that they're going to build, they were supposed to build, under Jamaican law, they can accept them, but they can give them a lighter sentence, what you're trying to say?
Yeah, they can't sentence computation because under the mutual agreement, Mutual Assistance Act,
right.
I'm just giving you. What they do is in other words, saying like the Extradition Act. If a country says, let me give you the best example. The law has to be consistent or similar to a law. It has to be a crime in your country. So for instance, in Arab countries, they would say it's illegal for women to drive and it's a death penalty. If you deport me from, I'm just saying, Afghanistan for being a woman driving illegally, well, not me, because obviously if I was behaving like a woman in Afghanistan and they say you're a woman driving, I'd quickly say, no, I have a penis because I'm from Venus. Deport me to Jamaica, and I'd be real quick, and I wouldn't have identity crisis. I wouldn't identify anything else. But but a woman, what we would do is say we'll take her and we'll bring her home and we'll let her out because it's not illegal and it's in keeping with the rights. And they do that all the time with prison exchanges when they have these things like somebody find themselves in Russia and they want somebody to take back somebody. The basketball lady was given almost 10 years for having weed, and they let her. They did whatever, and they let her out because weed is legal in America.
Okay, so, I'm happy. I'm gonna let you go, but I'm happy you touch on the Russia thing. About 3-4 months ago, a Russian national was charged for manslaughter in this country, in Jamaica.
Right.
All right. With a taxi operator and some other people. And for some unknown reason, the judge allowed this Russian national to go back to Russia. He was granted bail. He was given back his travel documents and he's back in Russia.
Yeah, but isn't he coming back for the trial?
Mr. Buchanan, would you come back? Would you come
back?
Yes.
Of course, I'm not running anywhere. I'm a successful Russian person. Why would I not come back to Jamaica when I can have my trial and the laws of Jamaica is so wonderful? I'm not likely to be found guilty. It's a little manslaughter. Those niggers down there will be okay. I'm coming back. I probably come back.
Do you believe if it was a Jamaican national, Jamaican taxi driver in Russia, went to Russia and commit a crime like that, do you believe Vladimir would let him out?
Well, Putin found out last week or in this month said Jesus black. He probably lets all black people go right now. I don't know. I'm just saying it's just standing, but it's just standing. Let me not make light of a situation. Everybody's circumstances is different. I'm a complete advocate for bail. The Constitution says bail is as of right unless you have extraordinary circumstances that you need to keep them. The man met in an accident. His defense may be that the driver on the left and he didn't understand the road and he shouldn't have even been charged for vehicular manslaughter. We don't know the facts of the case, and his attorney made a good application for bail and an application for his passport, and it was granted. I don't think we should look at it like that. And as a defense attorney, I'm so strong on bail, I don't know what they're locking up anybody for. If we are cloaked in the presumption of innocence, we can't be treating people like they're guilty already. You must respect the Constitution, and because I respect the Constitution, the judge don't do nothing wrong. If him don't come back now,
So who gets in trouble for that?
I mean, you have Jamaicans who get bail and them not come back. They've gone to Mexico and then they
hold on, Mr. Buchanan. Who get in trouble for that?
Nobody gets in trouble for that because it's a judgment call. You look at the strength of the case. You look at whatever. What I'm happy about is that this person probably, if he's, just hear this, if he's found not guilty, and you never gave him the opportunity to tie up his affairs in what they call that, in Russia. There's a war happening between Russia and Ukraine. You don't know if him dog need feed because all of him family. I don't know the circumstances, so I can't speak too much, but I don't see anything irregular or peculiar about it. And the judge within his or her wisdom would have known why she granted it. I don't think people should have been locked. I don't think people should be restricted on them life pause for these things. That's just my opinion. All right.
Yeah, good night.
Caller, hold on for me. Mr. Buchanan, there's a caller and I want to ask you a question. Caller, go ahead.
No problem.
Yeah, good night, Mr. Buchanan. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Not hearing you.
Go ahead.
I am great. How are you doing?
I'm all right, doing fine. I'm just following you along the way for the past couple of years. I've been following you since you took up this matter because I believe I am a breach of my constitution right both here and abroad because I have left Jamaica with the same situation where I didn't believe I would get a fair justice in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Meaning being that I was a popular businessman and the law want to get me to do things that I'm not supposed to be doing. And when you decide that you're going to follow the law, you found out that you become a victim of the law. And I, as a man, used to be on multi-program and all these programs, licking against the law about Jamaica, that the law is not suitable for the people.
Right.
I just sorry I was in a situation like you that I could have go back to school and become a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you said you have a question for Mr. Buchanan. Ask the question for me, no?
Right, I'm in Trinidad and Tobago where I find out that even though I'm a Trinidadian and a businessman and I feel like I don't have no rights, I have some matter before the court here and I felt like my whole human right was taken away from me.
In Trinidad?
Yeah, when I write the consulate and go to the consulate over and over from the day one before the case started, I've been begging my government to assist me. Even let me leave the country and come to Jamaica to get a lawyer or whatever. It was like a no to the Trinidad government. You can't leave. Even when they read out the constitution to me under their act of immigration act, they give me my rights that I can leave. But the immigration here happen as a law unto themselves. So even if the judge tell us you can go free to go and go your way, they will go back down the road and lay with you on the street and pick you up again and retry you again another court and give another case for something else they'll try to give you a case for, knowing that the court is going to set you free one more time.
Right.
And I won the matters, won the compensation, but I didn't feel satisfied that with the compensation and all the matter was there because when the matter finished and gave me compensation while I was in the hospital bed. When I came out of the hospital, the court find out that all the medical record was destroyed by the state. The nurse in the hospital and the doctor testified that yes, they hand over all the medical files to the state. And the state destroyed the files. When the judge the judge couldn't get no medical record to find out why I was in intensive care for 29 days. What was the reason for me was so long behind inside the hospital system for so long? What was the problem? And when you go back to the hospital system or you go to the hospital try to get a medical read done over, it's always a file disappear. It's always something like that. I never know in my life that file could disappear from courthouse, hospital, and all these things. So corrupted. So
what you want to ask Mr. Buchanan to do for you now?
I want to find out how can I file a case against him and my rights, because you try a case with me, even though you give me something. But you try my case while I was in hospital and didn't consider my medical issue. It's like you just say, as a local Jamaican boy, I'm a local businessman, just give him something. Like about the long-term issue of my health. Because for the rest of my life, I suffer with internal bleeding. My spine was damaged, me get brain injury, and these things. Yeah, well, they tried to them win the one with the spine. Up and now they're not discussing my brain injury. They want an outer court settlement with me to discuss on my brain. When I went to the court this evening to find out where's a file for that case, why that case is not calling up. They told me, Mr. Ari, you know the case is calling, you didn't come to court. I said, okay, the case calling, I didn't come to court. Nobody did inform me.
So what you want Mr. Buchanan to do for you now?
I want to know if I could get this matter either to the Caribbean Court of Appeal, back or to the Privy Council. How can I get it out of the court matter done out of here? Because they have to refile over the case against the hospital to destroy the medical file, because the hospital have no right to destroy a medical file who is before the court.
Yeah, but that
they have no right to honor the file with the police.
But the court is actually assisting you. If they destroy the medical, that's a different claim. And then the court will have them tell them to produce the medical, and if they can't produce the medical, whatever you put in your affidavit, a judge will give you what you say is your problem.
Well, after the judge told me that she have to work with what she have in front of her.
Exactly.
She realized that in the file, most of the file disappeared because I sue for the damage of character, false imprisonment, all these things are sue for from like my medical, like when I'm having, like if a police stop me on the street, like I just get paranoid because I feel like you're gonna do me the same thing over and over. Remember, you took me out of my house and carried me in the middle of the ocean to try to drown me, you know. Remember, my case was in the media, you know. They took me out of my house.
Caller?
Yeah.
Hold on for me, please. Let Mr. Buchanan answer you in whatever way he can to see if he can assist you by talking on the phone to you, sir. Listen to Mr. Buchanan for a minute, please.
What I'm saying, if all you have to do is sue the hospital for failure to produce the medical records, which is the destruction of your file. They have a duty to keep your medical records for at least 7 years, you know. They have that duty, and if they breach that duty, you get compensation for it. So everything that you say is wrong with you, a judge will have to say whatever you say is wrong with you. They can't now say that those things that wrong with you because they are the ones to show the medical report that wasn't so. So you have to just bring up.
Because the judge filed for the medical record but cheat them and never get it.
I know, which is why you have to. The cause of action is for them being negligent in providing your medical record. Is a new cause of action.
Let me ask you a question, counsel. In other words, what he's asking you, can you practice law in Trinidad?
No, I can't at the moment. But he want me to go to Trinidad for them say, yo, I'm friending this. I don't want to be stuck in Trinidad. For them put me in the water and try to drown me too. No, he has a very contentious matter, and I think that he has competent lawyers over there. It's just that they're frustrating him, and he needs to step back a little, talk less. Don't be an Isat and chatty about Isat, and make your lawyers do some of the work. And eventually, what the judgment that this judge gave you, if you're dissatisfied, you have a right to appeal directly to the Privy Council, and then you can tell the Privy Council that they don't produce medical records, all of that, and the Privy Council can make the orders that you want from there. But you have lawyers that can do that. But this is not a conversation here to have over the air. So you need to tone down on that. Because this man not talking, you know, him there on TikTok. I know him, you know, him very famous and feisty.
And I spoke to him about it privately, and I said, listen to me.
Yeah.
You need to come off the air with these things, and you're not listening.
Yeah. And that's it. And so that's my
well, as I said, I don't go back on here since you talked to me. I quit the program and them. Just discuss nothing less more than just politics. I don't discuss nothing about my private matter anymore since you talked to me.
Okay, hold on me now. You're live on air now, and people are listening to you. What as what Mr. Buchanan said, what you need to do then is go back to your lawyers, speak to your lawyers. They do it again, Mr. Buchanan.
No, and have them. He has a right to appeal a civil. He can make a direct civil appeal if the 42 days don't gone since that judgment, and have the Privy Council assist him. That one with the
state. Hold on. Not tell us what that one is, man. Mr. Buchanan just said to you a while ago. He gave you a free legal advice a while ago.
No, after the 42 days, and that one gone already.
Oh, if it's gone already, then you missed that opportunity.
So what they are lawyer to I have some friends in the legal fraternity, like judges and things, that are service their vehicle for this. So what I can do is continue the matter with the hospital, and then when they go back before the court, then you let the judge know what the other judge did. It's probably the case without all the medical here, and that's the reason why you come back to them.
You don't have to let them.
From the minute they left the court, the lawyer should have sent a letter back to them.
Hold on now.
I already told you the judge literally told you to file a cause of action for the missing medical reports. You can literally sue the hospital for being negligent, for destroying your medical report. That's an entire, and everything
Yeah.
that you have gotten from this case, you will get in that case. So the judge never misguided you. The judge followed the law. But all right.
Yes, he did. He told me that I have to go after the hospital independently. Go back and file a matter to find out what's going on, because he should have to just work with what he saw in front of him.
Okay. All right. So what Mr. Buchanan is saying, you have something more to say to Isaac?
No, man, that's it. That's the extent of my list before you, if I be allowed to withdraw.
Yes.
But Mr. Isaac, one more thing again, Mr. Isaac. I don't understand how we as taxpayers in Jamaica here and taxpayers also abroad, that when we leave, especially in the diaspora strikes at Trinidad and Tobago, we still have no rights, because our embassy here have no rights. Like, they have no power.
Hold on.
All they do is come and do drive fancy car and taxpayer money.
Hold on for me, sir. I said it to you already. The Jamaican embassy or consulate in any country is a guest of that country. They can't go to the Parliament of Trinidad and say XQYZ. And they're guests, Mr. Buchanan?
That's it. They can't do anything.
Okay.
And he sounds like he's a citizen of Trinidad too, so why is he complaining?
But I have an issue with the law here, and I went to the US Embassy, right? Then went to them, they interview me, and they pick up their phone and call the Trinidad government to listen my request.
Sir, do you hear what I said to you a while ago? And I have to go now. The Jamaican embassy.
And I'm not a US citizen.
Can you listen to me for me, sir?
My kids are US citizens.
All right, so thanks for calling.
Mr. Tavares, it was a pleasure being on your show, but yeah.
Thank you for coming on, Isaac. Thank you so much for being on the program.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to your supporting cast in the comment section. That I know you will compensate for attacking me tonight. It was a pleasure of mine.
Hello.
One moment, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Isaac.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I was just saying, take care and have a blessed night, all.
Same to you, my friend. Thanks for coming, and remember to join Isaac every Thursday for Context Matters. Content Matters, rather, on his YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Isaac McCann, for coming on.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, caller. Good night.
Good night. Isaac Moang talk to. Good night. You got? Oh, yes. God. Let me say also. I want question me want ask him. Me hear me nephew can answer. Me hear want something about Samaya law.
The Samaya law?
Yeah. Say the Prime Minister sign on to Samaya law. I want to know what it is.
Honestly, I hear about it, but I haven't got the privilege to read it as yet. I heard that he signed on to some Samaya agreement or something of the sort, whatever the name it is. But I haven't got the chance to read it. I haven't. It was sent to me, and I'm to be blamed. I haven't read it. Hello?
Okay, I think once. But are we a friend that do everything?
I'm here looking and living, you know. I'm here looking and living and wondering if I get the Silicon Valley down in Clarkstown yet.
Yeah, I look at the about Silicon Valley. This evening I come from work. I miss them a fix the road. Then say I run away beer. I come up near Brownstone.
Yes.
But when me see them at the Jeffrey. When me young, I miss the people are fixed road. Remember, you see grade up the road. Then I put in curve and channel. They would have chose stone and press them Marley pressy. And then after them press that down, they have chose some hide. And then use on sand and sunny. And that time they said a couple times, me quite remember how long that said for. Then in the day now they go assault, that is a woman come out with broom a sweep, and then the asphalt truck up with the tar and a throw this something, don't it?
But nowadays, then I have no man come out with broom, They have, that's a sophisticated something they sweep the road now.
But what me see them I don't know. One big ugly something we have the asphalt tonight. One big ugly machinery. Just have throw the asphalt on top of the road.
Yes.
That's all me see them I do nothing. Me not see no curb and channel cut up, me not see nothing.
Not even mud or gravel they don't put on it?
Nothing. That is a chore. You see thing what I ugly sitting in here what? Road tech. So you have front and back with two operator and he asphalt sitting in the front and he drive and he left out it. And they must see a pressy. Never see it like that.
Let me ask you something though. What about the water situation in Clarkstown? Is it improving? Because I see the Jamaica's best known baby father in Parliament this afternoon saying that how much billions of dollars allocated for this and allocated for that will come on to water.
Well, I know Clarkstown really living, but no water in that brownstone. What they mean is a little come and they must take night. Pick a catchy.
In the night?
Yes, pick catchy.
Wow.
Nice to know, like if me find out say come, me call you Jeffrey, oh, you say, oh, you could come. So you come out of your bed, if your bed you're there, and catch liquor.
My God in heaven. We're having water problem in our country. From Wapi, kill
and when you look, when you look, one place the writer Dunbarton, where you have the water truck full up. Actually, every day, millions of gallons of water run down upon the road. But no, now grab people here.
Jacqueline, the two-faced, stay not fast. But we must ask her what she eating. Miss P, the people them on YouTube here, so they love you, but so they want to know what you're eating.
I little tea me I drink, man. I was a night now, me not eat a night, but me stammer. So then you understand that.
Oh no, here now. She not eating anything. She drink. She drinking like a cup of mint tea or chocolate. She drinking.
No, I know mint tea, garlic, turmeric, and ginger.
You hear that? Jacqueline, you hear that? Jacqueline Thomas, go get some of the garlic and ginger now and behave yourself.
Jacqueline Thomas, one thing, Jacqueline, I'm telling you something. Me follow you too, you know. You have a back labor right then, but no, yeah, get little neutral and I see truth. Me like you for that. Big up yourself. One time he used to, yes, Jacqueline used to lick up, but no, when he truth hit Jacqueline, it take time and I see the truth.
She's on the platform laughing like anything.
Yeah. She have come to the reality when he facts them through. That I say, he come PMP, no, but he might become a fully Jamaican now.
Yes.
And no see no party.
Yes.
Loving party, nothing wrong with that. But he might come to in grip now. He say, no, man. And because me love you, yeah, do too much now. So Jacqueline Thomas, I get neutral. I mean like that.
So tell me something before you go. I saw an article in the newspaper that an American citizen died at the Brownstone Hospital because of belly pain.
And the Brownstone, a sentence
Bay rather, yes.
Jeffrey, me tell you all the while on this platform. So I was a farmer worker there.
Yes.
It's a dead house.
Wow.
Okay? I personally, I do security work. And I left one young girl, she was 20 years. The mother said, I left work and left her in the hallway there. I come back, me go home, come back the other morning. And I cheer the woman sit down same place. And I left my clock when the woman are dead. Missing nurse, I run up and down after the woman and the mother did and mother make nice. And you wanna make nice until as a security, me not visit to it. We are going to make sure you not knife to stab nobody around there. And when him ball and holler, when they go down there, they pick me dead in night chair.
Jesus, have his mercy.
He pick me dead in night chair. Me mean DEAD, dead. Nobody know what kill him. And nobody no check him to see what problem he come there with. I can't tell you that. Me down there, see enough people when them a gap, when they bed side now going and come out. So me don't know if the doctor fault or they not having machinery or what, but it just no good. And as we can tell you, in my community right now, one man go down there one day for belly pain too, and he dead. Trang man live in the community. When we take a stop, it's alleged. Say our appendix box in him. Now somebody can somebody can go to hospital the appendix. Go hospital, appendix box in and you're dead. Somebody must down there for run test to find what cause the root cause of the pain.
I think
these are the things that
I think what some of these people are doing, you know. If you go down there for some unknown reason, they say a gas pain you have, a gas you have in your belly, for some unknown reason, they will not check and see if you're having something different going on within your stomach. And this lady from America went to the hospital. It is said in the newspaper that she got treated and was sent out and she died.
The only treatment you could get as some pain killer, like they have one injection to give you. No matter if pain hot. When you get an injection, they all pain gone and you get better. Go and go dead because the body not find the root cause.
Wow.
Yet still you did have some good doctor down there. And they were them good. They were so frustrated. The work becomes stress to them. You know why? Not say the trauma. They don't have the equipment to do the work. They don't have the bed space. They have to tell you if you stand this up and move your from this up to this up. So them confuse themselves. This lady need a bed, and then they would have want to put you out and sort you out. Them have to hitch up in a chair and have you dead. Yo, here's some people, all the ambassador where she says she named Marjorie. Sometimes if you go, you know, then sometimes if you go, because they not live, they not see the reality of where my Jamaica. They not see the reality. Crime there Jamaica. But I tell you, most of the crime where happen at Jamaica is either, most of the time, people mix up. And that's the only way them have to ease them mix up. Some one or two they're the bad wrong spot at the wrong time as well they not put it. So shoot them not train for shoot, then shoot them is more shot and the catch you want catch. Right? Nobody, no tourist, nobody no tourist industry, nobody no harass no tourist here. They will more want to sell them something, and probably if it's something worth $10, then we want to say 15. Not all some. But like we see a tourist just go about his or her business. No. Down to me that one place and see two tourists, man and woman want cross the busy street. And me see local ordinary people come out in a road because taxi they carry them not tap. Come out in a road and tap you and park and cross them. Oh. I say, oh, guys, you make sure you're okay. Me there place again and see tourists come and want taxi to go back at them Airbnb. And me say responsible people put them on responsible taxi and take them home. And tomorrow morning they say, yes, the guy was nice. He dropped us home and make sure we got in before he drove off. Nobody know how the tourists know unless the tourists in a mix up. And most tourists woman when you see come here some big fat something. And some little boy then come here and recruit. So we call them green card.
What you call them?
Them big Them big fat something, some big oversight.
Where you say they call the guys then?
No, the guys then call them green card.
So they're getting green card from the ladies.
Yeah, man, because one thing them and them becomes in a business and then can throw it to one good, you know where you go.
Remember the part you're in
So when things like that is go on and probably in at that sometimes you don't know, but the biggest problem with we now our tourist industry is if a person come here and become sick. That is the problem.
And that's what I'm asking.
If them there one place where they can get to medical associate or probably university or St. Joseph, well, 100% then we save. Or if a sickness where them are going there, they are heart attack, they we dead, but then we get help and get started. But them a local hospital where it general public go. It is of no use. Of no use.
My God. It
is of no use. And so most of the time you cannot blame the professional them. They are human beings. They are frustrated. Then call, all right, me did I say them in a trauma case, accident. And me a doctor call for sitting all long sitting can't turn. No did it. He called for one of that sitting for say, let me tell you, me fast, you know. He called, like I said, number 8 players.
Yeah.
No number 8 players can go. He find it the big doctor, the consultant. Me I watch him, you know. And like the consultant, I say, right, if you not number 8, use number 6. And make me do so. And I feel them feel. I know number 6 can come.
It's just like
so then I not hit, then I not hit.
Yeah, it's just
and
like,
I hit it that I want to use.
It's just like when they ask for a 3cc syringe or a dextrosyrline or
like
sodium
that.
chloride.
Them terms.
Right.
Whatever.
Medical.
Me see them down there and then call. Me see them down there and then call for something, but me don't know what, but me find out say I drip. But the drip, they get the drip, him up push something in the drip.
Yeah, that would say antibiotic in the drip.
How long is something can come? How long it can come? Like you don't access him and say, right, if you give him that, how long it can come? So you can't blame them too much neither. They do not have the tool to work with, they don't have the space to work with. Then just cluster like a prison then there. So they are frustrated as well.
May God help us.
Frustrated. Oh. So when them a talk about dirty 30, I know I sell out. I lie them I tell. I just thinking truth. Them not like hearing truth. Them not like hearing truth. People have to don't have sentence be have to wait. If somebody dead, forget the bed. All them foolish is there. All people in that chair that them put spread like a pampas. And that they may come there for.
And the prime minister is saying that it's prosperity time.
Prime Minister can't say anything you want to say, you know, because fire that fin tail and think a cool breeze in fat.
What make you say so?
Let me tell you something, Jeffrey. Me and you, told me your talk. Seems like me whole line. By listening you. I'm a very observant.
Yeah, I'm very young.
But
a young little green boy.
Yeah. But you're all enough to understand this life, and you're born and grow in Jamaica, you migrate to another country, so you have at least you know 2 culture.
Yes.
What is happening to Jamaica? None of we ever dreamed that this would happen.
No.
From where I grew up, nothing never smooth like a butter pan bread. But no way. Mr. Wallis broke the most record in a negativity.
You know something, caller? in the 1990s when the great Percival James Noel Patterson, PJ Patterson, was in power.
Yeah.
People are saying, my God, is the worst Jamaica I've ever been.
That
But
man,
hold on
mercy person.
Hold on for me. I remember the whole have mercy Percy thing. But
yes,
when you compare the 1990s under PJ Patterson, yes,
my.
It was how the people because they let Central Bank lock down on our kind of shebang around. But under this administration, my God in heaven, man, this is worse.
All right, looking into this news flash.
Mm-hmm.
CRO at a criminal record office.
Yes.
If you want something, say, for those who are going to work criminal record up online. No. Tell me something now. Who can go up online?
Good question.
If me gonna do my criminal record and forget I work Monday morning, if you start work Monday, because more time you go do your interview, you pass everything. But the interviewer will say, guess what? You are successful in everything. The one thing you need now is your criminal record to make you start work. And you say, oh, sometimes you don't have the money. You beg a friend or you go borrow and you get it. And only to hear, so you have to go back and do it over again because this, that, or not.
You're not supposed to pay for it.
True.
You're not supposed to pay for it.
Eh? And you pay a fee already.
You're not supposed to pay back for it.
Right? And then the next thing now, who are printed in yard? Just a few persons. So when you go a cafe shop, these young people is so educated with the IT. Then tell up right in front of you and teach you. And you can't see. Yes, no, me have to give my picture and then put it on there and take picture and then digitize everything. Oh, me I gonna know say him I go throw it away. I'm gonna take it on computer. After I give me paper and gun, you know, left in a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Him no can't use young clown me. I use my photo and make up something and make this and make that and take his scam people and say me.
You have a point.
Eh?
You have a big point there.
No, Mr. Kevin Blake, you're just to take over from Google Gaga. And this are the first bad thing this you do. Why these people do not think before they do? Or it's a way to get people to take needs.
I tell you something.
I not put nothing past this prime minister.
I tell you something, you know. I think this administration know how to make money, both from the public transport sector and from the Jamaicans that come on to government facilities. They have a way of scamming the people, you know.
But it's over time.
Yes, ma'am.
Time. And if you spit in the sky, it will fall on your face. What goes up must come down. And Honorable Prime Minister, the higher the monkey climb, and the more exposed. And all I want to feel like all I want to do to the people and to this country, and I benefit myself, and I live lavish life, it will come to an abrupt end. All I'm not going to drop like a ripe breadfruit. When a breadfruit up on the tree and ripe, and when it drop, it squash. And that I got to take on. You see, one man come on social media in a hiding face, now nothing, and saying one back in land. Which prime minister in Jamaica people ever ball out say they want back their land? Eh? Which prime minister that ever happened to? And I was say, who know this and you know me and the whole works. That not sound good. That not good. That makes up not good for your prime minister. Why you mix up in that so? He say he's a man that come from a humble beginning. He's a church man. I mean, nobody can tell me about no Christian, you know.
Hold on if
Me don't want to hear about no Christian.
Hold on if 1 minute. The person who said that, but one have to remember the bad state Jamaica was in when PJ Patterson took over. Who PJ Patterson took over from? He took over from Michael Manley. Michael Manley retired and PJ Patterson stepped in the seat. The PNP was in power. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course.
The People's National Party was in power and Michael Manley took over from PJ Patterson. So what kind of bad state Jamaica was in?
That I want to know.
Go ahead, you have my caller.
Me know Jamaica never in a bad position because people, and those of them who live in foreign from them time until now, never used to have to send too much money come to Jamaica to rescue loved ones. I remember in a Michael Manley days, come down to PJ, we used to export pimento, BC, chocolate, coffee, right? We used to do all of those exporting. Where all of them they gone? We used to have citrus, Jamaica Citrus Association, where we are send orange go foreign. And we have Igla where I go buy orange go sell. Jeffrey,
yes, ma'am.
You know how much that does no fit orange out here?
How much?
2,000 and 2005.
How much?
2,000, 2005 and $3,000 for Artanic orange at Jamaica.
But almighty God in heaven.
One dozen orange. If you want one orange, Jeffrey, it's 100, 150, 200 to one orange. The smallest marble where we used to go orange bush go pick and look on them there. $100. $50 can buy one orange at Jamaica. And I in that market, me I tell you about. In the market. So nobody go see pancake or pan style and go ask for. Oh. You hear what I say? Orange.
My God.
Oh. So you know what people are talking about? Oh. You lick his finger right banana. And then I him fit like a way we used to get full right banana, we right banana right to the bus. $100. $100. Oh, in a Jamaica. In a Jamaica. Oh.
My God. Caller?
Okay.
Our country's in a bad state. And, you know, all we can do is for the people to stand up for themselves, you know. We in the diaspora can stand up and talk so much and so more and no more. If the people of our country don't stand up and say enough is enough, you know, all we can do is continue shedding the light on what is going on in the country. But I
yes,
believe the people,
and
I believe
the opposition.
I believe people need to stand up for themselves.
Civil society. And that is the reason why, Mr. Jeffrey, these people, you don't know, in the 90s, the Manley days, partisan days, you have a thing, the umbrella of churches. Where to them, the people, civil society, everybody just get corrupt.
I see,
everybody.
I see a press release from the Jamaica umbrella group of churches about a week ago. I think they're talking about the corruption in the country, something like that. You know.
My God, I'm crazy. Down to the youth, Jeffrey. Down to the union where represent the workers them in a certain factory or a certain organization. Down to them corrupt. You used to have union where come out and stand with workers and demand what is right for them. No, if it's work, I even said them will strike 2 minutes a year, them no better strike again. One more promise. One more promise, you know, you say, man strike, say want the buckle. And they say, all right, come on man, and I come tomorrow, you get the buckle. And we're asking them to go back to work. And next week, we're going to have our next meeting going forward to see how we can What kind of foolish is that? If people say they want the buckle, give them a buckle. I tell them, say, me can't give back next week, but we give next week. But we get the other week. Everybody get corrupt because what? As the people raise their price, then call the union them and give them a big money in their pocket. And then grow on the thing, so then it just wash out.
I see a lady put up on the platform here that she bought a dozen orange downtown Kingston for $800.
Well, him lucky. Sent and me a talk from. So if he buy 1 dozen orange for $800, kudos to him and probably a thief in goods too. You see downtown? Well, me I tell about Brownstone Market. Me don't know about downtown. And things are always cheap in town. Well, me I tell you when me see and when me know. Well, in lucky in shall buy, if me see, me buy 3 dozen if me have the money.
Oh my God.
Me not tell you lie. Why am I not come and tell you lie? That not help me. That not help me. That me see.
Well, my good friend, we're gonna call it a night for tonight.
Yeah.
You have anything more to say before you go to your Jamaican people?
Well, as I can say to my Jamaican patriotic people, and those of you who now get patriotic, follow Jacqueline Thomas and get patriotic. Put away the orange and the green and stand for what is right. Stand for your future generation. If you don't know what to say, pregnancy clinic drop way down. You hardly see one pregnant mother now. Jamaica gone. Make we stand up for what is right and not what is wrong, and don't love man more your country. Love your country. Love your future. Father and mother child that you don't give birth to. And all that we are asking is to hold the government accountable. We cannot live like this. Crime will never go down under this. When a man hungry, he angry. People need to work, but they need livable wages. So when you know I say people don't want work is here, but how we are going to live? My son, I have a son. We are 18, and I'm a man. Same want hardware, and he said, "I'm looking for work to go and do something." You know what the man tells him? I pay my day $2,000 in 6 weeks. So when he says $2,000 for one day, he says 6 days. When I say 6, 2, not 12. Then he broke and now see at 13 and dog 15. So what make me figure work for 12 and that thing can't pay. See it? So when you look for a young man, 18-year-old young, of vitality, vim and energy, willing to work, and you want PM, under PM. Where that I said, what kind of message you send?
Dear God.
What kind of message you send? So if you're not strong in yourself now, figure those scamming and get in some illicit thing where money run faster. You must have a strong inside. If you know if you hold it. So Jamaica, make we wake up, make we stand for what is right. And one of the greatest things we have trouble with, we don't have no health care. We can't buy good food to eat. So we are going to have sugar, pressure, everything. And we are going to dead quick and suffer too. And when we go to hospital, we are going to dead. That we are talking about. So, big up Mrs. Tavares and your family, because behind every good man is a good woman.
Yes.
Put you out there, make we can share and talk and everything. So big up yourself. Me this no much long come in and drink a little tea and me I take you in.
Yes, ma'am.
So find out this Samaya, or whatever.
The Samaya agreement with Jamaica.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. We want to know what it is. And when you write out, read out and put up, it make me really understand it. Because me a hear and it give me a whole heap of difference. But me now ask and me learn from you know. Don't talk at things and until I get the facts.
Right.
So me now want to get the facts. Because my little boy asks me what it is, and me can't tell him. Because me don't know what it is.
What I'm gonna do for you?
It's an agreement.
Yeah, it's an agreement between Jamaica and I don't remember what other
Yeah.
country, but what I'm gonna do for you, I'm gonna look it up and read it and,
Yeah.
and talk to you about it. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, man. Big up yourself.
Bye. Thanks much.
All right. Yeah.
I want to say good evening to Miss Hopi Lawrence. Good evening to you, ma'am. How you doing? Thank you for coming on to the program. You can go over to YouTube and like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel because I'm being told that sometimes the Facebook go down. But for those who are on Facebook, go over to the YouTube channel. That's Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Go over there, like, share, and subscribe. We come on every evening at 7 p.m. Jamaica time. That's 8 o'clock US time. Thank you all for coming on. Thank you, Miss Hopi. Let's go over to Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe to all our families and friends in the western part of Jamaica and all over the globe. Today has been a great day. Tonight has been a great night. Great program, I must say. Jacqueline, why don't you behave yourself tonight, Jacqueline Thomas? Behave yourself, no man. I mean, they must go and go sleep. I must say thanks to all my subscribers on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Thank you all for being a part of my family. Thank you all for allowing me to be a part of your family. Without you, I could never do this program. And I want to say thank you all very much. Jacqueline made me laugh tonight. Boy, oh boy, Jacqueline made me laugh tonight. Anyway, I want to say thanks to everyone who make this channel possible, who continue to be a part of this program, who continue to be interactive in the comment section. Thank you so much. And I'm going to do another program on the lack of water in Negril. The lack of water in Negril. For those who haven't been on my YouTube channel, go over to my YouTube channel, like, share, and subscribe. I've done about 3 series of the lack of water in Negril. And the last series I did was that the deputy mayor of Sablama make us be aware that the Minister of Water, Senator Matthew Samuda, came to Westmoreland. He did not speak to neither the mayor nor the deputy mayor about what is going on in Negril. What he did was to go and speak to the people of the Negril Chamber of Commerce. And he has not met with any representative, any councillor, any mayor. And I don't think that is right. I think what they should have done is meet with the mayor and the councillors and talk about what is going on within Negril. They haven't done so. So we're going to do another series about Negril because the Mount Airy water catchment plant has a lot of water in it and it's flowing over. I showed you guys the video. And before I go tonight, let us show back to the video again before I go tonight. The video, this is the water plant. Excuse the expletive in it. Listen to this. Hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're currently at the Westland Mountain tank. The tank is 100% full and the overflow is flowing out. And none of the water is running to the community. And the question has been asked now by everybody, including the new regional manager. Why isn't the water being coming out of the tank and going into the community? And that is a question that he's asking himself and trying to answer. But as we have it now, the tank is full to capacity and the overflowing is flowing. And the $10 billion question. Why is the water locked off from the community? So, ladies and gentlemen,
that's the question. Why is the water locked off from the community? We don't know. We're going to do another series in that. But until you hear a voice again, may God bless you. May God bless Jamaica land we love. Remember, those who are on Facebook, come on over to the Make We Talk YouTube channel. Like, share, and subscribe. May God bless you. You know, before we go, let me see something here. No, I think my producer is saying that we have to go. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel. Thank you all for making this a part of your home. May God bless you, and may God bless Jamaica land we love. Have a great evening, everyone. And remember, May 10th, Call to Action Group, New York City comes alive. We'll be live from New York City on May 10th on the Jamaican Diaspora, the real Jamaican Diaspora, the Jamaican Crime Intervention Prevention Task Force present a demonstration, a call to action, protest about the level of corruption going on in Jamaica. It will be live on the Make We Talk Jeffrey Tavares YouTube channel on May 10th. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Have a good evening, everyone. God bless you all, and may God bless Jamaica land we love.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.